So this is my life today. Best thing I could think to do with that pile of stuff in my living room was to just pack as though I'm going to move to somewhere else. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to move onto the street and just put the boxes of things that I hope to use someday in the future, store them somewhere, or if I'm going to move to another place. I don't know. I should be able to move to another place. I do have a Section 8 voucher that pays for my rent, but I don't know if that's really going to happen. The people that normally would be experts on that aren't giving me the type of assistance that would help me with navigating this kind of crisis. But either way, I went through my stuff, my clothes, dress clothes and all the other ones, and got rid of the things that I don't feel comfortable in. And most of those are still great clothes. I just feel weird in them for whatever reason. They don't fit me because I'm terrible at picking out my own clothes in some cases. And it doesn't matter if I look fine to other people, because if I don't feel comfortable in my clothes, I'm awkward and it's really hard for me. So I chose to go to the Goodwill. Somebody told me once a long time ago that when I was at an Oxford house that the guy there worked for the Salvation Army. He'd gone through their 6-month rehabilitation program and then gotten hired on full time. And he said donated to Salvation Army because they were actually not for profit, and the Goodwill was a for-profit company. So they were making money off of the donations, whereas Salvation Army is not making a profit. So I thought about that for a long time, and at first probably agreed with him. I thought, well, if I have to donate stuff, I'll take it to Salvation Army rather than the Goodwill. But yeah, then I think back, my Aunt Cindy is mentally retarded. She's slow. She develops slow mentally, and yeah, she's not intelligent and coordinated as the normal human would be. So, but the Goodwill gave her a job. So she was not sitting at home rotting into a sofa, or sitting at a home for adult foster children. When sitting there, sinking into the couch watching Shirley Temple movies or something, or Disney, which has happened in ways. And it's not that Disney's bad. It's just, it's like repetition and the movie making all of your life, So, but back then she was active. She was doing the Special Olympics. She got the gold medal in gymnastics. She was a swimmer. She used to be the one that would lifeguard for my sisters and I when we were kids and playing in the pool. And then the adults wanted to go watch us. They were having adult time, whatever. We went out to the pool and Cindy would watch us. And we felt safe there. We knew that she knew what to do if one of us started to look. She knew how to tell if we were going to drown. And she knew what to do, to go get somebody. To go get somebody to help her get us out of there. And that's what I remember suddenly. But yeah, so they gave her a job. And she's most certainly not going to be productive as a person with a normal skill set, but yet they gave her a job anyway, and paid her with the same wage I imagine that they pay anybody else. And they also have an employment assistance program to help people get jobs here in Portland, and it works really well. The employment, call it case manager or whatever, that worked with me, gave me the best. Well, she gave me she gave me better service than any temp agency I've ever worked for any length of time. I had one temp agency I thought did great, but my criminal record wasn't going to allow me to get the class of jobs that they were going to be booking me in. So I had to leave that one behind. That was I can't remember the name, but they were good. But my friend Tara could tell you, because I emailed it to her for her sister to get a job if she was looking. But anyway, they did well. She touched base with me. She told me where the job fairs were, all the resources that were available. She told me when and where and how to get to them. It was easy to work with those people, and whatever help you needed, it was available. Whatever your skill level was. I already have a resume and I know how to do a cover letter and basic searches. But You know, when I think of employment help, I think of, you know, my friends when I was younger in high school. You know, here I keep going out thinking I'm going to manage some company. That's what I'm supposed to do, is move up the corporate ladder and be a manager or a CEO. And I have friends that get assistance with folk rehabilitation, and they get or go to temp agencies, and they end up with jobs manufacturing products, making $3 or $4 an hour more than I make at either of my jobs. You know, and I can't understand how I never get that help. First, I don't think I'm supposed to, because I think I'm supposed to be, you know, a normal person that doesn't need help getting a job. But I realize those agencies and those help platforms have connections with employers in the community that know who they are, and so they can get people past all the 6,000 resumes at once trying to find the needle in the haystack person that you want. They can get you past that. They can get you straight to the gatekeeper's door. They can suggest your name, and maybe they pull that resume out more quickly. So, but that's the kind of service she gave. You know, she knew where the job fairs were, what kind of things were available that would fit my needs and schedule. So I appreciate the goodwill for that. I think that's a good business strategy, because to me that is exactly what I hope someday, you know, corporate agendas would be like. And I think they will, because people want corporations that do good in the community. But that's what, instead of focusing too much on profit, their focus is on empowering and building a better community. So increasing the flow or happiness of the areas they serve. So they're getting people employed, and I can't really see that's a bad thing. And I got nothing against the Salvation Army, but to me that's the history I got with this place. So that's why I choose to go here to donate the stuff that I'm donating. And the reason I don't go sell the couple that are new is the same thing. People shop there. Well, I don't think get great clothes sometimes, because I've realized that used shoes are pointless. If you're looking for comfort and good foot care, you know, my dad went to a podiatrist who told him about how quickly your shoes actually are no good, and a running forum for runners want to run in a group, you know, confirm that, because they were tracking the mileage on their shoes to know when they were weared out, not what the wear patterns look like. So it tells me there's something about foot health and arch support that benefits the body entirely, and I don't think I'm going to get that from a used pair of shoes. And so, though I do need shoes right now, and I would, and when it comes down to it, I would take the Goodwill shoes that have a sole that doesn't have holes in it come when it starts raining again, because all my shoes have holes in them, and my feet get wet if I walk outside. So, and I'll steal them if I need to. I would trade my other old pair for their old pair, and I've done that before, because I'm poor. I don't have money. I'm not allowed to have. It's like I live in this really crazy conundrum. Is I get, as long as I have zero income, my rent is paid completely. I get a utility check that's in excess of what I use with electricity, which means my savings and being energy efficient allows me some extra cash on top, and I can use that to buy, you know, some of the things that I need, like toothpaste and toilet paper and soap. And yeah, often enough I spent some of it on drugs, but or all of it. But either way, there's no allowance for clothing or shoes. You know, if I make money to get those things, then I have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and tell them how much money I'm making, and submit, and then they'll start charging me for my rent. Problem is a lot of the money I make is very, very I made at the time was very erratic. You know, I'd get occasional Craigslist jobs. You know, I could say I don't think I ever got money for. Oh yeah, well I got gift cards for stealing stuff. Nothing I could spend necessarily as cash, but either way, you know, I can't really call that income to me. To me, that's difficult to call income, because it is so unpredictable that I can't plan for the next month's finances, but based on that. So if I do report income, then I got to somehow figure out how to tell them in my on my annual review that even though I got this money this month, I do not expect it next month or the month after I'm going to be poor again with no money and no income. So yeah, I guess that's life. And I've also realized working part-time is not in my best interest because I will lose money, because I'll lose food. When the end of the day comes down, my $190 of food stamps will go away, or a good chunk of it, if not all. And I have to pay rent. So I have to pay a third of that income to rent. So I penciled it out at least a few times, and I can't ever see myself actually improving my situation, except for the fact that I am engaging with people and getting physical exercise and having some kind of structure and purpose to my days or schedule, which those benefits are there. But I think I actually have less money for food, and it is hard enough to eat on $190 a month.